Well, it's time for the next episode of Musical Month, so I decided to watch another movie that includes Zac Efron. You're welcome. Hairspray. And what I assume is a record in the fastest start of an intro song in a musical, we start the first song of Hairspray, a song about how much Baltimore sucks and how happy our main heroine is living in Baltimore and how she wants to be a star. But I want to know why this garbage truck driver did not just hit this poor girl. He realistically did not have enough stopping distance with how sudden our main heroine jumped out in front of his garbage truck. She is extremely lucky to be alive, and that's why I assume she's so positive. And 30 seconds after that, we have another song where we see the TV show that is going to be the plot of this entire movie. And they talk about how once a month they have Mom Day. And we then see the basketball boy Troy Bolton, but in the 1950s, and the name has to be Link Larkin of all things. And we see the most terrifying thing that'll haunt your nightmares for all eternity, John Travolta playing a woman in the fat suit, which is so bad it's good, and somehow is every mom in the city of Baltimore. And then we see Link give his girl a promise ring, and auditions open up, and of course Tracy Turnblad has to go to those auditions, and man oh man would I hate to have a name like that. That is the worst name since Link Larkin. And after a good old family arguing, Tracy Turnblad, still hate the name, goes and auditions for the TV show. And then we get the first villain song of the movie, Miss Baltimore Crabs, which I genuinely can't believe is in this musical because the song is literally called Miss Baltimore Crabs. And at the end of every chorus line in the song is Miss Baltimore Crabs, which each big dramatic punchline at the end of the song is just her also saying Miss Baltimore Crabs. Which at the beginning of the song, I'm like, ha ha he he, that's kind of funny. And at the end of the song, I'm like, ha ha he he, this is still really funny. How are we taking this woman any semblance of seriously? Also, don't forget she's racist. And then Tracy goes back to school but shows up late, gets caught by the teacher, and goes to detention where she meets Seaweed J Stubbs, because the naming convention in this movie is insane and he's a part of and they start dancing, and Tracy's a bad girl who needs to be punished, and she has to let the whole world know right when Link Larkin walks in, and she embarrasses herself. And Link really likes her dance moves, and then she sings the song about them getting married immediately after. And this is the most thirst trappiest song I've heard in a musical since the movie Cats, because the entire movie of Cats is just one giant thirst trap put into a musical. And also, I want to talk about why is Tracy stealing this man's car? He looks terrified. He has no idea why she's there. She has no idea why she's there. It's like she's having massive hallucinations that everything that she's envisioning is real. It feels like she's holding people in gunpoint like Troy Bolton was at the end of High School Musical 3. And then they have their little dance at the school, and Tracy takes a page out of Elvis's book and steals straight from Seaweed J Stubbs to get onto the TV show. And then we see Tracy being the voice of the people and immediately seeing the token picture of a 1950s business guy, immediately calling her a communist. And that is McCarthyism as a person. Poor, poor Oppenheimer. And then we hear them complain. Corny is actually on the side of the right here, which is really surprising because a host is almost never on the side of the right of anything. And then we start a song about a moving van. And when I first heard the first lyric of this song, I thought they were going to put Tracy in a moving van costume. And then we learn the only thing that beats racism in the 1960s. Money. Sweet, sweet greenbacks. The only thing that truly matters when you're not a stuttering communist. And Penny gets introduced to Seaweed J Stubbs. And yes, every time I talk about Seaweed J Stubbs, I will say Seaweed J Stubbs, because you gotta put some respect on the man's name. And they give each other a look that only leads to one place. Jail. It's the 1960s. Give it 5 years. then you'll be fine. Then we see Tracy becoming the most popular girl on the cast, and she even gets a spokesperson gig with Mr. Pinky's Hefty Hideaway. Such a great name for a business. And we have a song about leaving the house, but the most important thing here is heat stroke is a very dangerous thing to be concerned about on a film set, because you can see John Travolta in this fat suit hallucinating that the paintings on the wall are moving. And remember, people, to hydrate, because hydration is very important. And when they get to Pinky's Hefty Hideaway, the first thing that Mr. Pinky does is appeal to the fat person in all of us by handing them donuts that have been sitting there for 12 hours. And man, is that the most truest businessman thing to do. Bring to the negotiation table the worst possible thing that you can give someone so their expectations are at the bare minimum. And even though it's flattering, apparently, John Travolta does not get trapped by it, but she still lets her daughter eat all of those donuts. And that's a lot of donuts, even for the 60s. Please think of your daughter's health. And then we get to see the moment we're all waiting for as John Travolta sings, and John Travolta gets to live out his glory days from Grease. But he doesn't keep the same amount of pizzazz and the ability to sound good while trying to keep a falsetto while in a fat suit and trying to move around in high heels. But all in all, the song kind of slaps. And, oh man, I really don't like fireworks at the end of musicals to be some big finishing number, because it's been overdone in so many movies. Kind of like John Travolta. And then we see Amber's mom be mean to Tracy's mom, and then we see Amber be mean to Tracy and have a sick Goodyear tire burn, which would be so much funnier if it was a Michelin tire burn because of Michelin stars, but that's just the comedian in me always trying to find the better joke. And we see Seaweed J. Stubbs is in fact the best singer in this musical so far, and we see the best song of this musical so far by a whole country mile as they're singing about their pride, about being African American. And in this moment, I feel so bad for Seaweed J. Stubbs, because this song sounds very much Motown inspired, and there's an absolutely 0% chance that he will not be scammed out of all of his money by Berry Gordy. Then we go to another song that's amazing, sung by Queen Latifah, who has to remind us that she is a former rapper and a former soul singer, as she convinces Edna Turnblad to overcome her personal bias through the power of soul music and soul food. We see Miss Baltimore Crabs trying to spread her Baltimore crabs to a ha-ha he funny man, as he's just hiding around corners playing pranks on his customer. And we learn something very, very terrifying, that Amber's mom definitely 100% killed Amber's father. Get some help for Christopher Walken. He's in danger at the Hardy Har Hut. And then Tracy learns that they lost day and gives the idea to do a march down to the studio, and Link cracks one too many fat jokes that breaks the camel's back. Makes them get overrun by the moving van that is Tracy, as she gets upset and Link feels bad, and we see that Christopher Walken values the joke over anything else, as Amber's mom tries to seduce this man so hard, but he keeps pranking her until he gets pranked by his wife, who walks in at the wrong time, and he's not even mad because his wife also understands perfect comedic timing. Then we cut to the next scene, which is a duet between Christopher Walken and John Travolta, which is nice, and they're singing about how they love each other. But most importantly, we cut to another scene, which is the march, and Queen Latifah belts out another fantastic song. And yes, the message of this song is beautiful, and I don't want to make fun of the message of the song, so I'm just going to point out these awesome signs that are the best protest signs I've seen in the movie in a long time. One says TV is black and white, another one says do the checkerboard, another one says integration, not segregation. Perfect signs to get their point across. Good on you, Hairspray. As Tracy is running from the police, she goes to her best friend's house, who hides her in the basement because she's scared of her mom, who has that good old Catholic racism. As she realizes what's going on and ties her daughter up to the bed, she's saved by Seaweed J. Stubbs, who pulls out the smooth moves and the biggest knife I've seen in a movie, as Zac Efron, aka Link Larkin, aka Troy the Basketball Boy, is singing about how he's in love with Tracy Turnblad now, and it's just as horny as Tracy's song about him, which is really creepy. But none of that matters, because now it's time for the Miss Hairspray pageant. And the pageant starts, and they sing a song about hairspray, which is the most important thing here. Do you not realize that the whole point of this movie is not to sell you cigarettes like the Philip Morris agents that walk in at the beginning of the pageant? It's not about fighting racism, which is a really important thing that we need to do even nowadays. No, it's about none of that. It's about selling hairspray. You all need hairspray. I need hairspray. You need hairspray. Everybody needs hairspray. Please go out and buy more hairspray because that's all that matters here. And if you don't buy hairspray, I will personally find you with Seaweed J Stubbs' knife and make you buy more hairspray so they don't hurt me and my family because I'm not selling enough hairspray. And this has been Spiral Tree Entertainment. If you liked the video, hit us with a subscribe and comment down below how much hairspray you bought. I need big numbers. I need big numbers and more hairspray product moved. And I hope that I'll see you next time.